A lady was seeing a woman lying on the bed. She then goes to the woman and picks up the prosthetics from the woman's legs and takes them away. She looks at the woman who was lying on the bed, missing her legs, with a very arrogant look, and then walks away with the wedding dress she was waiting for and with the prosthetics of her legs. She takes it to another woman. He says that she had taken it for her to use. She says that now the woman would no longer be able to disrupt their plans. The other woman then asks if that was true and the lady says yes. She said that her son should not stay with that woman and that he should stay with her as she was perfect for his son. She didn't say that her son would have to have all that other woman, because she didn't have the legs. The other woman, in tone, begins to put on her wedding dress and the lady goes to her to help her. The other woman then asks the lady how she was doing and the lady says that she was very beautiful and that she was worthy of being part of her family. She then said that she was grateful for the compliment and that it was all she wanted most. She said she had always dreamed of living in that house and owning it along with the other assets. The lady asks what she was talking about, but the other woman says it was no big deal. Later, the woman wakes up and realizes that her legs are gone. She then starts to get into danger and calls for help, but no one comes to her. At that moment, she realizes that her dress, too, is gone and so she continues to call for help, but no one comes to her. With great difficulty, she goes to another room in which the lady and the other woman were and says that she could not believe that her mother-in-law would aggravate her dress to give to the other woman. The mother-in-law says that she had taken that dress and given it to another woman, as the other woman was worthy to be her son's wife and the woman was not. She says that the other woman was much more beautiful than the woman, that she was worthy to be his son's wife. The woman then says that she could not understand why the lady had called her here, since the lady had no intention of letting her marry her child. The other woman then says that in addition to not having legs, the woman also didn't have a brain, because she couldn't understand that this was all their plan. She said that they had planned all this so that the other woman could keep the woman's dress and thus be able to marry the woman's son in the woman's place. The lady then says that they need to leave to settle some matters and then they leave. As they were leaving, the woman said she couldn't believe it was happening and that she needed to tell her boyfriend what had happened. The lady then takes the woman's phone, told her that she was not going to tell her son, because the one who was going to marry her son would be the other woman, because she was perfect for her son. The woman then says that she wasn't going to let that happen, but the lady says that she had another idea. She then takes the woman's prosthetics and tells her that she would take her away as she didn't want the woman to end up showing up at the wedding. At the wedding, the lady was telling another woman that she couldn't say anything during the ceremony, because if she said anything, they would see that she wasn't a woman and it would ruin their plan. She asks if the other woman understood what she had said and the other woman says yes, and then they go to the lady's son. They go down the aisle and when they get there, the man tries to kiss his wife, but the lady stops him, saying that he needed to wait until after the wedding, as that was the rule. She then tells the man who was going to celebrate her son's wedding, that he should continue the marriage, as she wanted it to end soon. He said he would do that and then the lady handed him some documents, saying that this was his son's documents. At that point, the man says he needed the couple to stand in front of him so he could begin their marriage. He then starts to say that this was a very special day for them, but then he doesn't say anything to go to that and say the final sentences right away. He then asks the groom where the couple's rings were and his sister says they were with her when she was going to pick up the rings. She notices something wrong with the bride's legs. The groom then says that his sister should hurry up with the rings, but she says that the truth was that she had forgotten the rings at home. She said she would go to his house quickly so she could pick up the rings and that she would be back soon. He tells her to hurry up, so she leaves. When she gets home, she notices that her brother's fiancé's legs were lying on the floor. She walks over to the woman, who was crying sitting on the floor. She asks what had happened to the woman and the woman says that the lady had taken her legs and dress and taken it away from her. The sister then says that she couldn't believe her mother had done that to her son's wife. The woman says that now she was there losing her marriage, but her sister says that she wouldn't let that happen. She said she was going to fix it, but the woman said she didn't have her legs or her dress on. She says that fixing it will lead a woman to marriage. They make it all the way to the wedding and then she tells her daughter if she shows up with the rings. At that moment, they realize that the one who was with her is the man's wife. He is then surprised to see that his wife was there and said that he could not understand what was happening. He wonders who that person who was next to him could be and the sister said they would find out. Then it is revealed to the man that the one next to him was, in fact, the other woman. This leaves him very surprised and he asks why the other woman is there and not his wife. The woman then tells the man that the lady had done it, so that she could not marry him. He is surprised by this and asks his mother why she did it. She says she did it because she didn't want her son to marry an invalid like the woman. He then says that he couldn't understand why his mother had done this to him and says that he was disappointed in the other woman for agreeing to be part of that plan. She then says that she only accepted because she loved the man very much, but the sister says that this was a lie, because she was a gold digger, but the other woman says that she just wanted a good life. The man then tells the other woman to leave before he gets even more angry with her, but she tells him not to do that, as she loved him very much. The man then tells her to stop saying that and get out of the wedding soon. The lady then says that she couldn't understand why her son did that and says that he should stay with the other woman. He then says that he couldn't do that, because he loved the woman very much and wanted to be with her, but the lady says that was crazy, because the woman didn't have legs. The man then says that he was going to reveal to his mother why the woman was that way. Then it is revealed to us that, some time ago, the man was telling the woman that they were going to have dinner together that night. She says yes and that she was very anxious for it to happen soon. The man was then leaving, but the woman realizes that he is going to be run over and throws herself in his place. Hearing this, the lady apologizes to the woman for everything she had done. She says she had no way of knowing it had happened and that she was sorry for everything. The woman says she knew she didn't have legs, but she really wanted to be by the man's side because she loved him so much. The lady then says she would help the woman and walks her down the aisle. The other man then says that now that everything has been resolved, they can go ahead with the wedding and asks everyone to sit down. He then asks the man if she would agree to marry the woman and he says yes. He then asks the woman if she would agree to marry the man and she says yes. He says that in that case, they were married and that now they could kiss. They then kiss and the man says that he loved the woman very much and that he would not let anything bad ever happen to her again. She says she loved him very much, too.